Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. It's Ryan, the Hot Toys Collector. Hope everyone's having a great day out there. And today, finally, after a long time of am I going to or am I not going to, I bit the bullet and got the early Season 1 figure of the Mandalorian. This would be when he's in his regular Mandalorian armor, not in the Beskar armor. And excited to get this figure. Like I said, I was kind of on the fence about it because I have the deluxe child with Mando. So I've got him in his Beskar armor. And I was like, do I really want to get both of them? But of course, y'all know me. I had to get both of them. I finally gave in. But before we get into the review and unboxing, I would ask if y'all could drop down, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, and leave a comment on the video. Do you have this figure? He is a last year release. I got him on a sideshow warehouse find type situation. Do you have the figure? Drop a comment below. Let me know. And without further ado, let's get into the unboxing. Alright, so here we have the box art for Mando. As you can see here, we got the nice band right here on front. I like that they add those in. I'm not going to show the whole box because it's Star Wars. We know what that box looks like. It's the same style every single time. But our insert card, title card, whatever you want to call it, looks really cool. That is a picture of the figure. Looks really cool there, really solid looking. I like that we get his sniper rifle in this release. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box. And let's get this box out of the way. We'll just take a look here at the clamshell. So, looks pretty good. Pretty nice. Not too bad, not too shabby. Let's get this opened up so we can take a closer look at the figure. Go ahead. And like I said, this was a sideshow warehouse find. So what that means, for anyone that doesn't know, what that means is the figure was sold out, and at some point, either sideshow had one or two in their inventory and didn't realize it, or they might have done, say, a giveaway, or they might have done a contest, things like that, and they were never claimed, so they went back in inventory, and then when they do their inventory, they realized, oh, we got one of these, so they throw them up online, and when they throw them up online, you've got to get it right away. I was very, very fortunate to get him. I just happened to be on the website at the right time. And I believe I got him at the same time I got Grindelwald from the Fantastic Beasts. I think that was, I don't think it was the same day, but I do think it was the same weekend that they put those up, and I just happened to get lucky and get both of them. So we got a good look at the sniper rifle here. We'll take a look at that here in a second, but let's get him out. Yeah, it looks real good. I don't know, man. There's just something about this armor that I just kind of gravitate towards this look compared to the Beskar armor. I don't know why that is, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Get him in focus here a little better. Yeah, it looks really good. I like the details here on his helmet. It's kind of got this distressed, battle damaged, been out on Tatooine for, the last 6 months type look. So it's got a bunch of dust and sand and stuff, and same goes for his armor pads here. And the cape has got that real soft, silky material. Kind of surprised that they didn't do something a little more rough, just because he's been out bounty hunting for a while. But looks really good. I mean, you got your blaster sheath there, and then of course the fun times is trying to get, oh, that one came off easy. He's trying to get these off sometimes. Looks like we're going to get lucky and be able to get those off pretty easy. That's nice. I always struggle with those for some reason. Chest plate there looks really good. Just the armor pieces in general look really nice. I mean, he is a little bulkier. We've talked about that with the other Mando. So as far as articulation goes, the look down, you're going to get a lot of look down, because I mean, it's just the regular ball joint on top. You can look up about like that. That looks pretty good. Arm articulation wise, remember this is a fatter suit underneath, so it's not going to do as much. So you can see that's about as far up as you're getting the arm. So that kind of sucks. But we get our swivel, a little bit of swivel. We get our elbow bend, and then we get our wrist peg, which is pretty typical. And left arm, right arm, going to be pretty much the same. The gauntlet looks real nice here. That looks really good. That one looks really good too. So we get that to let's get that to focus in a little bit. There we go. Looks really nice. Oh, there we go. And then he's got the strap here across, and then we get the belt with the mines. I think there's one in the accessories pack. And we get a look here. Chest wise, waist wise, you're not going to get a lot. If you remember about this figure when it came out, that was a big complaint, was the articulation. Leg wise, we get quite a bit there. It's kind of crazy. And then of course leg kick up. That's about what you're going to get. Double jointed knees. I just popped off his foot. So you can see it's just a ball joint that sits up. So we get that try to peg back in. Hang on just a sec. Because we got to slide on the shin guard. There we go. So all in all, not too bad. I don't think it has quite the same articulation as the Beskar version. I think that one has a little bit more articulation to it. As far as accessories go, probably the main one is this guy right here, the pistol, the blaster pistol. Looks really good. I get some really good details on that. Looks really nice. This is probably the one I'm going to have him posed with majority of the time, just because I think that's probably the best look to me. Then we get this Remnant Stormtrooper helmet for the stand. Looks really good. I like that kind of that blood look on top. That big crack in the top, that looks really cool. And then that's going to help with the stand. That's just a little, looks really cool. So there's going to be a stick that's going to come all the way up through that. And that's what is over here. Stick looking things. And if we can, that may be tough to get out without tipping everything over. So one thing you guys will notice if you've watched some of my other videos, my other reviews are a little bit different. I've decided that I think it's better. As we get another look here at the shorter one. I like it better that I try to be as real as possible as far as opening and going through the whole motions of everything. So, because, I mean, this is exactly what you're going to do when you get your figure. You're going to have to go through all this and the struggles and doing all that. I mean, not everything is going to work out perfectly as you're trying to take these apart and get these out and mess around with everything. You're going to be, like for instance, I talked about the little covers for his feet, which I think he's on top of. These things are the bane of my existence because I really wish that they just put them on there and they didn't tape them so you could just slide them right off. Because some of them you can slide right off, boom, no big deal. Like these. These actually worked really good. Some of them you can take a knife to and you still can't get it off. So here's the base. We get our typical Mandalorian base. I mean, they've reused this base, 20 times now, it seems like. I wish they'd change this, where they'd make it a little bit, or they wouldn't make it so wavy with especially with the feet. This one's got the two pegs for those two sticks. Because when you get him on the stand, if you don't put him right here in these two, the footprints, he's going to kind of look kind of wobbly. And I don't like that. I wish that they would not. I wish they'd change it. It doesn't really have to be not do it. I just wish they'd change it or change it up a little bit. I mean, there's a couple figures I think that, yeah, sure, we could, but there's also a couple figures like IG-11. Like what's the point? Like what's the point there? Okay, so we've got this extra little piece of armor that goes on his shoulder, and I believe it goes on the shoulder right here. So you can swap out these two bits if you want. So that's kind of cool that they added that. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of here now. We've gotten everything out of the clamshell. So then we get our little accessories pack and hands pack. We're going to look at the hands first. And we get the nice look of the Mandalorian gloves, that two-tone color. And then we get this nice little armor plating style on top. So we get a right and left trigger finger for use in the guns. And then we get a right and left closed fist. See there, they look really good. Look really good. I always think Hot Toys does a great job on the hands, and then we get this just kind of open gesture style hand, right and left. So we don't get any kind of, crazy hand specific type deals. They're pretty normal. Let's go ahead and just dump all that out right there. And we'll get a look at the remote. That looks really nice. Details on this are good. These do not move. They're going to be just like that. They are molded together there, so be careful of that. You don't want to ruin your remote. We got one of these with the Beskar Mando as well. And then we get our bomb. Looks really cool. And this will just slide right in to there. Just completes that look. Gives it like a little finished look. And then this one, according to the instructions, is supposed to kind of go right there. So it gives it that finished look. Now my Beskar Mando, for some reason with this and this one kind of looks like it wants to do it too. It doesn't really sit down in there very well, so it kind of, you see there's a little gap right there. And then that happens after a while is it will start to kind of work its way out. So if you don't want to pose him with that, then my suggestion is put that in a little caddy somewhere that you use for your spare parts. I like to use the little things you get at Lowe's by like Craftsman and things like that, the drawers that normally people use in their garage for like screws and things like that. Look at the pistol there. Looks real good. I like to use those. I've got 4 of those, about to have to get my 5th one here because I am run out of space for the spare parts. So all the small spare parts, I have each drawer labeled. And so just for instance, I don't really show this, but we're going to show it today. So I've got TMS008, the Mandalorian Ig-11. Basically, this is whatever they put on the box. That's what I go by. And then this just has it's got the Mandalorian or the IG's gun. It's got the extra chest piece for the light up for the self-destruct, and then the battery packaging's in there for some reason. Normally I don't put those in. I've been trying to be better about putting batteries in the figures, but it is what it is. So I'm actually going to have to make one for him. So I make them each time that I get a new figure. So this is MMS 530 Avengers 4 War Machine. So, it's got all the hands in here, and it's got his head sculpt. You get a little trickier with these because, we'll get a lot of things that really don't fit in there. Like for instance, the long rifle, things like that. So if you're not going to pose them with that, I have drawers that are directly behind me for my, in my office that I keep. Basically, I have a drawer for parts that have to do with weapons and things like that, and then I've got a drawer that has to do with, different apparel for the costumes, and then head sculpts, things like that. So, take a look here at the rifle, which looks really nice. Now, this has the same kind of setup that it does for the Beskar Mando, where you can strap this to his back, and he can carry it. Basically was strapped kind of that way and give it that look there. So this looks really cool. I like that they included this gun. And this scope is removable, and then you can have him holding the scope. And I do believe there is a spot in the instructions that shows us how to kind of open that rifle a little bit to make it look like he's loading the rifle. Because these little spots here on his suit, those right there, are removable. So, guys, instructions, very important. Don't neglect these things. They're here for a reason. You could end up hurting your figure or screwing something up if you're not careful. So what it looks like is this piece right here. Is it that piece? What piece is it? That piece. There we go. So this piece right here will cock up like that. So then it would look like if he was, if he's holding it down like this, he's going to insert one of these into here. So that'd be kind of a cool pose. That actually might be a pose I keep him in. I think that'd be kind of neat. And then we get our electric effect that goes onto the end of the sniper rifle, which looks pretty cool. I mean, we get a lot of these with like Thor and things like that. It's a different color though. This is kind of a more purplish blue, I think. And you can see there, it's kind of even got a little purple tint to it right there than what we get. The Thor, like Thor Infinity War, we get them and they're like kind of light blue. They're not really purple. That to me looks more purple. But I mean, I think it's cool that they add that. So that is going to be it for the accessories and figure portion. So as I kind of resituate here, we are going to get him. We're going to put the stand up here. Let's put the stand together. So obviously that's kind of self-explanatory right there. And then these things, these little ends come off, of course. And then they both look to be the same size. So these are going to peg in kind of like that. I'll kind of put mine a little more where I don't feel like they're going to take up too much space into the TOF. And then this thing just kind of slides on like that. So you get it to look kind of like that. So that's kind of cool. And then we're just going to put him on here because we are going to do some comparisons here in just a second. So let's change the crotch grabber a little bit so he gets a little more stable on here. Okay, so sorry about all this. I'm having some troubles with my camera app and my phone, but we're going to do some comparisons, and one of the best comparisons to do is to the Beskar Mando. So height-wise, they're pretty much the same height. I've kind of got him in a really good pose. I don't want to mess with him quite yet. They're pretty much the same height, and the Beskar armor, of course, is full suit Beskar armor. And they're pretty much, other than that, they're almost identical figures. You get the same accessories. You get the blaster pistol, the sniper rifle, the fob, and then the little bomb. You can see I've got mine sitting there nicely. This is the deluxe version, so you get the child and you get a bunch of other accessories. You get the jetpack with him, and then you get some things for his gauntlets, which you don't get with the regular Mando because at the time he hadn't gotten those in the show. All right, so our next comparison, and I'm going to have to take him down off the stand, unfortunately, because I really like that pose, but I'll get him back in that one, is the Death Watch Mandalorian. Now, obviously, the Death Watch Mandalorian is a lot different because he's got the blue-green style armor. As I get the regular Mando, hopefully being able to stand up here on his own. Just a sec. There we go. You see height-wise, they're pretty much about the same height. Obviously, Death Watch is going to be a little bit different because of that blue-green armor. He's got his optical at the top for his helmet, and then he's got a different style blaster, and he has a jetpack that has accessories and things like that for it. If you want to see my video on this, go check out. I have a video review on this one on the channel already, so please go check that out. And then last but not least, the OG, the GOAT, Boba Fett. Now, Boba is a little bit shorter than Mando, but not by much. As my good buddy Gunner is trying to chew up something. You can probably hear that on the video. So Boba Fett is just a little bit smaller. You can see he's got his regular Boba Fett armor, things like that. It's a little bit different armor. He doesn't have the same style shoulder pads. He's got these smaller shoulder pads. He doesn't have any thigh armor either, like Mando does. But obviously, this is kind of the go-to, the GOAT, and whatever you want to call him. That is the Empire Strikes Back version that just came out recently. I was very lucky. My lovely wife bought that for me for our anniversary, and I really appreciate it. We were very lucky to get it. She is a very sweet and special person for buying that for me. So that's going to be it for the comparisons, and that's going to be it for this video. If you would, please drop down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and please follow me over on Instagram at the Hot Toys Collector. And as always, hope you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.